What's up, everybody? My name is Jason, and welcome to Small Biz. In today's video, I'm going to talk about why Muln is playing with flash, crash, fire when it comes to these last-minute attempts to close above $1. Why in the world was I screaming at people last night and again this morning to sell all of your Ttoo at 70 cents? And is it true, as I've been saying now for the last 3 weeks, that somewhere between 6 cents and 0.65 on Mcom is a screaming buy? All that and more coming right up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy hump day. I want to say thank you right out of the gate. Last trade, 56.5 on Ttoo. I want to say thank you for those that have wished me well. I am battling some form of a bug. It started off as a fever. It went to body aches and nausea, but I'm gaining traction as we speak, and I hope to have it completely out of my system when we launch the Discord sometime soon at trysmallbiz.com. And yes, you need a premium membership. All right, I want to say full disclosure, actually disclaimer, this is going to be a very uncomfortable video for most of you. I expect massive amounts of hate and thumbs down before I get done. But as I said, either last night or the day before, I'm shaking the tree. I believe that we're on the cusp of something great. We open this Discord, we get the stock texting service going, at least for some of you, before the end of the year. We start doing promotions of 60-second YouTube short videos that are seen by 4,000, 5,000, 6,000 people. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But I had an epiphany in the midst of this shaking of the tree, so to speak, that the vast majority of you, 99.9%, will never pay me a friggin' dime. Not one penny, and that's okay. It used to bother me to no end, right? We have 125 winners in the last 16 months, 744% gains, and yet virtually all of you, 2,000 will watch this video. Only a couple of dozen will get what I'm trying to tell you. That's okay. There's only going to be a few hundred at most that ever become premium members at trysmallbiz.com because it's capped at that level. We're at 200 and change. So most of you, even though you'll have trouble holding back the nasty comments, try to take to heart what I'm sharing with you today based on 30 years of experience, half of that as a broker. If before the end of this video, 57.25, you get anywhere near 60 and you bought that stock on a retrace from the flash crash low of 40 and change, you pull the fucking ripcord. You caught your 40% or 35% bounce. If you got near 40, 41, you're out. We are not going to see anywhere near 70. The reason for that is simple. On Monday, the CEO of Ttoo downgraded the revenue guidance to somewhere around $10 million. He also said, if you look through the fine print, that they're burning over $60 million a year in cash, and they have less than $10 million. It was $16 million in their last quarterly filing of cash. So what does that mean? We were buying the stock at 7 cents. You had a 10 fucking bagger at 70 over the course of the last month. You should have sold it all. I was getting enormous amounts of hate. I lost track of how many people I blocked, although we hit an all-time high of 11,800 followers on Twitter. Thank you very much. But some of you have turned a trade into an investment. When you have the CEO that said, wait a second, and obviously the presentation at 10:30 this morning was a classic buy the rumor and sell the news. Whenever a stock, I don't care what it is, crashes 43% in 10 minutes, the balloon is popped, the jig is up, the game is over. 58.25. I'm not going to be able to keep my eye on this, but you have my permission. Hopefully it stays there. Maybe it doesn't. I think it's going to close somewhere around a half and eventually grind its way down to support around 35 cents. Do a massive offering. In fact, today may have been an offering. There may have been insiders that made 10 times on their money. The last guy loaded up at 7.5 cents. But you cannot hang on to a stock, I don't care what it is or what the story is, that's up tenfold, that's burning cash at 6-1, that's going to have to do a reverse by November 12th if it doesn't organically get up there. And for those of you that have somehow convinced yourself that it is worth a lottery ticket, do you know that only 8% of breakthrough devices since 2015 have gotten FDA commercial approval for use? 8%. So, for those of you that are going to get it, and it's only a couple of dozen of you, managing risk, You're up tenfold. I gave you a half a dozen entries and exits in the stock from 7 cents. You made triple digit on your money. Leave it alone. You should have sold it all at 65 or 70 when I was screaming at people last night and this morning. If it hits, there's 59 and a quarter. You have my permission now. It's close to what? 11, 10 if my eyes are not receiving me. You pull the fucking ripcord. If you bought it for a trade, it's almost 60 cents. It's done. It's over. It's going to fade back down under a half a buck because they're running out of cash. They only have an 8% chance to get an FDA approval. And whenever you have, before I get over to Mcom and followed by Muln, whenever you have a stock that's up tenfold, that's running out of cash, burning it 6 times as fast as it's coming in the door, and they only have an 8% chance to get approval, and obviously they're going to need money, even if that happens, in order to produce, in my humblest opinion, the guy who's up well over 700% in the last 16 months after pulling the trigger on 125 winners. It's not going to $1 organically for 10 straight days. I don't give a fuck if they get approval or not. You failed to manage risk. You should have sold it all at 70 cents or on a bounce right now back down to 58 and a quarter. You should have been out at 60. With that said, quickly, what's going on with Mcom followed by Muln? And by the way, somebody needs to get a hold of David, preferably before the close. They're playing with fire. I'm going to explain why a flash crash could not only ruin the party, but prevent us from getting NASDAQ compliance. But you may have seen in the last hour, and this was right before I came on to do this video, that Salvatore Palella, the CEO of Mcom, insinuated he may be done with dilution after we get through into August or whatever it is, September. Look. Take absolutely nothing he or any CEO of a penny stock says, right? I've said it before. I'll say it again. Believe absolutely nothing you see and less than half of what you hear. They're all lying to some extent. It's just a question of how much. So they pump it up once again to 0766, I think, second time in the last 2 weeks. That was the trade. Last trade right now, 0691. So what do I expect? I expect the same thing that's fucking happened over the course of the last several months since the reverse split when it's down minus 99.7%. It's going to fade right back into the buy zone of 06 to 06 and a half. And then you have my permission to load the boat because keeping it simple, stupid. And that's what we do around here, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome if you're new. I swear like a drunken sailor, although less. I hope you're happy, Ma. And I tell it like it is. I also happen to know a thing or two about making money in the stock market. And if you want in our Discord, you got to go to trysmallbiz.com, even if you have a small business or not, and get a premium membership. But the same entity that does these pumps followed by dumps has until October the 12th to get Mcom over a dime. So it's possible, whether he does it through the SEPA or he gets some investment banker, preferably, that has buy recommendation power. Hey, we're going to do a 30 million, a 40 million share offering, preferably at or above market, let's say 15 cents, and put a $2 price target on Mcom over the next 12 to 24 months. Boom. You'll remember this video. You remember the last half a dozen when I told you to buy at 6 because he cannot afford to go into the NASDAQ hearing on August the 12th before I close out with Muln with the stock under a dime. They're going to laugh him out the door. They're going to say, we gave you 2 months to get this stock, whether through dilution, which most likely occurred today as well, or not, and you failed. So the same hidden hand, as I called it earlier this morning on Twitter, that pumps it up, in my opinion, not a guarantee, but my opinion, is going to pump it up without dilution. And he kind of indicated that's coming sometime before October the 12th. So does it make sense to buy at 06 and a half or less for a 50% move to the upside? Why, yes. Yes, it does. And with that said, what the hell is going on with Muln? And this will only take me 60 seconds. We've all seen as we're on day 4 in the last minute or two, they start pumping the stock from 96, 97, and they barely get it over to 101, 102. That's obviously David in the buyback, but I have a major warning. I may put SOS in the fucking title of this video because you're playing with fire, David. The same haters, the same mean sellers, as I've called them, that have destroyed this stock down over 99% in the last 12 months, very well might just come in. And if I'm them, I'm probably waiting till day 8, 9, or 10. But they may do it at any time. They may say, you know what? He's got $25 million or thereabouts. We as Hindenburg have $100 million. We're going to come in at 359 and a half through the dark pools, and boom, we're going to drop a 5 million share short sell and close this motherfucker at 99 and change. And then what? We lose our chance at compliance. We got to start all over again. And the chances that we actually get up and over with that check from NASDAQ by September the 5th decline by every moment thereafter. So, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, always remember that I love you. I really love you, and thank you so much for watching. Sick or not, that's what you call shaking the motherfucking tree.